So I will talk a little bit more about my books. This collection will be more about my latest book, this dark grimoire that I have written called King Paimon, the Lord of the Silence and the Void, the Lord of the Abyss, which is, as I said, a large book. It has more than 500 pages, and as I've said, it is for the initiated. It carries a lot of knowledge. It carries a very beautiful energy of King Paimon. It's very nice to read. It's very nice to meditate on it. It's very nice to just, I guess, have it. It's one type of those books that one should read, especially if one is interested in like more secret knowledge or something like more exceptional. I always think that the first book and the last book is the most it's like my best work, because of course in time one gets better in writing. This is approximately my 30th book that I have written, and I have written different stories, and I've chose different titles for the books, and I thought maybe people are interested to know other books that I've written or other subjects, and to explain a little bit of those. So but I would still like to speak about the last one, the King Paimon, because this is about my last one, and or maybe about the creative process, how is it for me, how the idea or how the intuition or how the creative process goes. And I quite enjoy it because I get an idea, or I get a subject that I'm studying, throughout time, throughout a week, or I read a little bit here or there, and then I get very attracted to the idea, like I get very passionate about the idea or the subject, and I want to find out more information, which of course I read, and then I like the idea so much, and I think, okay, I want to write a book about it. In some cases, but it made quite strong for each book. I carried a lot of will, a lot of desire, a lot of happiness to bring the story out, because I love the story. It's almost like the energy or the intuition or the work. Before starting to write, it is for me essential, and it gives the quality of the work in the end. But of course, writing too is, as I said, you deal with a lot of words. You deal with manuscript, so you have to know how to organize it, and you have to find a way how it's comfortable for you to write. For me, at the moment, the best way to write is on my phone. I have Microsoft Word, and then I use the text there, to arrange it, and I enjoy to pick up the titles of the book, which somehow, it's not like I force it. It comes natural. I think that's the way to, almost sometimes it comes at the end, the entire title. But of course, I'm writing about the subject that I'm focusing on, And I've written the last one, for example, the Man with the Luggage, which is a futuristic, type of book. It speaks about the future, because I had this image of a man traveling with his suitcase. I saw like a man from the back, and he was traveling into a portal. And then I thought I would like to write a story about a man that actually is from the future and has mastered some way or another how to time travel, how to teleportate, something like that. And then I put the story together, and it got quite interesting. So it's almost like a different subject that I'm interested in. And interestingly, before I wrote The Man with the Luggage, I had a big book I have written about time portal, time travel, as good as I could. Of course, it is like a new science, but I left quite a lot of freedom for myself in writing that book. So it's like the thematic was preoccupying my mind before, or long before that, So that's almost like the process of writing is like a seed that almost doesn't leave you alone. No? It always grows, and then you say, okay, I'm going to take the decision. I'm going to write a book out of this, because I find, for me, the story is so exciting. It's so worth telling. A story has to be worth telling to be able to go through that amount of work. And thankfully, I do like to write. Of course, otherwise I will not do it. But it's like not the focus. My focus is to bring the book together. So I'm very almost like mechanical in this way, the way I work. It has to do something about speed. I enjoy the speed of the process of being fast when I move through a manuscript, and I have to repeat that process a few times now, because the text should not have any mistakes as much as possible. You don't want to read a book and then it's almost like that mistakes interrupts the reality of that book. It takes away somehow. It's a little you want it perfect, the text. And the other part, which is interesting, it's almost like, of course, the joy of somebody else, thinking that somebody else will read your book or will enjoy it, or you will hear from other people opinions, or experience. And I do see a lot of my books being filmed into movies. I'm a very visual person, so I almost like see images of like it will play in a movie when I speak about my books, or even maybe when I write them, or definitely some actually come from ideas from movies that I've seen, or just a short scene or something, and I found that idea so cool, or I found that thematic so interesting, then I develop it in my own, And in fact, they're all fictional, because they are all type of novels. But novels is not only fiction, even if they are fictional, because it just means that it gives more space for one to write. It gives more freedom for the writer, That's why a lot of writers, I think, like to write novels. Of course, every writer is different. In my case, I like to try different genre, and I almost like my subject, I try to compose my subject and my text that it fits the best to the thematic, And if it's something romantic, I do like a poem, or if it's something historical, you go into hymn or verse. In some of my books, you have both. You have prosa and poetry. Some are Paimon. It's like very unique the way I arrange the text. So I go quite in detail. Even I look at the font that I'm using. I want each book to be unique and exceptional. And I like to write big books too as well. I write 3, 4, 5, 600 of pages on one book. As I've said, I even written a saga. That's like the idea of one can make a movie out of it. It's like a big material, a saga, it's like the hero journey. Then I have written some dark novels. One is called A Walk with the Devil. It's like my first dark novel, and I was quite nervous at the beginning to publish it, because I even thought of changing the title, but then I said no, I have to keep to the original idea, and it's a dark novel. It's about a girl meeting this man, and somehow he represents the devil, but the story is that the devil loves this girl, and it's like one of the girls that he truly loves, And the story is quite interesting. There's a lot of dialogue between them. It's quite interesting, the contrast, between these two characters. Then I wrote The Daughters of the Fire Dragon, which is about the geisha world. One of my favorite books is called Memoirs of a Geisha, which they did film into movies. That's what I say. Successful books end up in movies, which is like the nicest part of it, no? The Daughters of the Fire Dragon is about these two sisters, or two geishas that are living in a house, no, in this compound, which is the fire dragon, the house of the fire dragon. It's almost like a story that was real in a certain time. It is placed in the past, in the time, no, from the geisha time, and I kept it very intimate, just between these three characters, and it's very sensual. It's a very beautiful book to read. It's absolutely one of my favorites. And it shows a lot, because they have this man who represents the fire dragon, the emperor, who carries a lot of fire. At the same time, the geishas carry a lot of water element, and it's like very intense, even like sexual. No, there's a little bit about the Japanese way of sexuality, which is very much about the art of the word, the art of the knowledge, the art of the arts. It's like a high conquest of the minds, of the hearts, until one end the feelings are returned. It's a little bit like Jane Austen style type of love between the characters. So it's like in the beginning you feel the tension, and there's a lot of inner dialogue and how the characters react. And I, of course, chose to make a lot of dialogue because I wanted to show too the type of culture. I wanted to show how smart the geishas were and how diplomatic they had to be, and how smart and intuitive, and how many amazing qualities they had to survive, or to be able to be part of that world, or of that house of the fire dragon. Then I have, what other books? I wrote Lisa. Lisa is one of my first novels. It is about the gypsy girl, and it was at a time where I was listening to gypsy music, and I was studying their dances, their art, music, and ideology, how they live life, or even historical or culturally. I quite love them. I'm interested in the gypsies, and I wanted to know more about. And I was even dancing, listening to music, and at one point I saw this song. It was a very melancholic song, and it had this beautiful photo of this girl living in this gypsy family, and I loved that song so much, and I just got the idea of the book. In that moment I thought, okay, I'm going to write a book about this girl, and I love the name Lisa. This the double name of the girl that I chose, and it shows her journey, her lessons, because she's living in the middle of authentic gypsy family, and they have very beautiful values, and almost like I wrote a book in honor of that girl, Lisa. It's a very beautiful, heartfelt type of novel, and interesting to know if one likes about Oriental culture, or wants to get a little bit more knowledge or insight about the way gypsies see life. And what else? So Lisa I wrote, trying to think. I did write many other books, as I've said, quite different types. I even wrote one about Romanian and Japanese folklore together, a little bit like the Ghibli house, the Mononoke princess, and then I wrote Princess Morgana, and then I wrote Sharazada, which is about the Arabian culture, about this girl who tells stories, which carry a lot of knowledge. It's like that old style of Sherazade, with the story of this girl who was living at the emperor court, and the emperor fell in love with her because she had the quality or the ability to tell stories, and she would entertain him for hours and hours because she had the talent of telling stories, no? And I wanted to write my own book about that, and it's like different type of stories that I have written for it. Sharazada, and I really like the name. And then I wrote The Lady in Jade, which is amazing. It's a little more modern type of novel, a little more situated in our time, and it carries a lot of biographical thing in my life, autobiographical things, from my memories, which I say in, I write it like that in the book, no? But the book is not about me, it's about The Lady in Jade. It's another book that can be definitely made into a movie. Like the story could carry, even if it's a little bit changed, but the story does have and like an immense interest in what happens in the story. It's almost a little like suspense, and then I wrote this is another very beautiful one, The Gentle Eye of Anubis. It's like my first book that it's a little bit more on the esoterical part. I mean, I love and I studied Egyptian culture. It's one of my favorite ones. I love different cultures, and I love to study different religions. And the Egyptian, I have quite a lot of Egyptian qualities in my books or thematics. And The Gentle Eye of Anubis, it's a book of itself. It's like unique in itself. Almost like I don't want to describe it because it's really that good, no? But it's about Gentle Eye of Anubis. It's about meeting Anubis, who is like a god in the underworld, which I had a vision of him in the desert, and almost like I wanted to go to him, no? I felt that he's lonely, he's carrying his duties in this the way Anubis and what his work represents. And then almost like Isis, which is the queen of magic from the Egyptian culture, goes to him, visits him, and he's going to show her, it's almost like they go on an adventure together, and he's going to show her things that she has never seen, and there's like a lot of dialogue. So there's a lot of, when I say dialogue, it's almost like I want to get more information for us about, thematics that we don't have answers, no? Like afterlife, death, universe, portals, time travel, knowledge in general. And it's almost like I create opportunity in a book to bring that out. And it's a very heartfelt type of book. Anubis is very gentle. It's the gentle eye of Anubis. It's almost like he carries the energy of the endless, the non-judging, the all-welcoming deity, and he carries this heavy duty, and he's a great god. And as I've said, I write my books in a very honorable way. So I almost like I take it upon me to give them honor the best way I can, for them. So it's like an important aspect of me, because the meditations or the information or the fact me writing the book, as I've said, for the writer, you have a very intimate connection with your subject, So it's like almost literally you're talking to them. Even if, of course, you're not, because, I'm not crazy, but the idea is that I am gathering the knowledge, and it's almost like I have to live in that reality. It's almost like my mind is preoccupied with that subject, And I definitely felt this way when I wrote Anubis or when I wrote Paimon. And another book that I really like, Princess Morgana. I said I like the one with the stories. It speaks a lot about water, about different Irish culture, but it's a very beautiful, it's almost like 3 books in one. I wrote 3 beautiful stories, and I said I'm not going to name them, even if they do have a title, but I'm going to put them together and just name the novel stories. And they are really very nice. I love them. There's one called Calife, who is the princess of the sea, who is eternal, young and beautiful, and she sleeps under the sea in a state of dreaming forever. And she's like so dear and so loved by the sea. She's like the queen of the sea, the princess of the sea, and it's almost like the idea of the sleeping beauty, even if, to be honest, I didn't think of that necessarily, just to explain how it is a story. It's about a sleeping mermaid, and it's like the story behind. It's almost like she suffered a heartbreak, or no one knows why, but she went into sleep, and she's so beautiful, she's so eternal, and you see her like sleeping, and then there's a lot of melody from the ocean, a lot of beauty around her, almost like trying to wake her up, like missing her. It's a very poetic, very romantic, very interesting book. I really loved writing that one, and I wrote it very fast. I just wrote 3 stories, and then it came out together very nicely, very fast. I really liked it, and I love the story of Calife. And I have written my first song. I have written a song. I called it Melody from the Future for Calife, because it's almost like I said, I want to create like an ocean song, an ocean environment for her to wake up, and then it's like I say like a song for her, from the future. I don't know why, but it was very idyllic, And then I wrote a Blood Lotus. This is Osaka Rising. This is about the Osaka Mafia. This is one of my futuristic books. It is played in the future. This can definitely be made in a movie as well. It speaks about the Osaka Mafia, so it's like it gives knowledge from this culture, or from this the way they operate, or it's just a nice environment when you read the book, because you have this amazing man, or an amazing world, in Japan, in Osaka, and it's played, as I said, in the future, in the year 2100 something, and then it's almost like the Osaka that we know now, it looks different there, and there's this woman that almost like enters in this world with them, and she's the one helping. She's like a very important key for them to be successful, or she's a very important part of this, and it shows a lot about that thematic. So I do have quite a few. The ones that I have published are my first books, which is a little bit more thematics as love poetry. I have written love letters, love poetry, and the one that Shadow Keepers is actually my first novel that I have written, and the Shadow Keepers is another book which I have written, and it is about this girl who finds this book. She lives in a village by a shore, and she finds a book that is very magical, because the pages are blank, but when she touches the page, some type of poem appears, and she goes into this journey, of with this book in her hands, trusting her road. It's about the self-discovery. It's about inner strength, inner work. It's a very nice book, The Shadow Keepers, and I included always some poems and then chapters, and the story goes further and further on. I think it's a very nice reading that one can can get a good quality, of entertainment from the book. And as I've said, I've written different books for different people from different genre. I was just trying to explain a few information more about my books. If someone is interested to read them, I can send them on your email. And you have then the digital book that you can easily read. Open, in your email, and then you can read it on your phone. And so the pages are around 300, 400, 500 pages, approximately like that per book. So it's quite a big read, but it's easy read. It's pleasant, it's not like a study book or something like that. I really write it for entertainment. And I'm going to make other videos, speak more about Paimon, which is my latest book, Paimon, the Lord of Silence, the Lord of the Abyss, the silence and the void, which is almost like a thematic that could occupy my mind for a very long time. And I'm almost like I wrote the book, and just now I'm starting to learn from it more as well. And I'm going to definitely do some readings from the book, from the beginning, how it starts, because I really love. I was working today a little bit on it again. I was rereading it, making the last the final touches, as they say, and then I wanted to be able to send you. If someone is interested to read Paimon, please contact me on my email. It is written in my account. Now you can find it there, and you can contact me, and I can easily send it for you. Thank you so much for listening, and all the best. Bye. Kisses.